Hey everyone, it's Marla. Welcome back to Twinstrology. I'm going to do another pick a card reading today. This one is going to be messages from Spirit and what you need to know about your journey right now. So we have three choices. This is pick an ascended master that resonates with you today. We have Vishnu. It's number 1. Number 2 is the Green Man. And number 3 is Merlin. So make your choice, and I will put the timestamps in the description. So if you chose number 1, which was Vishnu, this is your reading. So the card that I'm going to start out with is the Spirit of Isis. And the message here is Triumph of the Goddess. Beloved initiate, there are times to surrender and let go, but there are never times to give up. Persist with your bold faith and inspired action until the impossible happens. Isis has the spirit of triumph and will never fail in her quest, no matter how bold or impossible it seems. Believe. It is helpful on the inner path to let go and detach over and over again. And yet we need to stay true to our heart and not give up on what we feel we are here to do. Whether it's reaching for enlightenment, for inner peace, for a creative breakthrough or personal healing, the triumph of the goddess is with you now, urging you not to give up. No matter how far away or impossible success may seem, don't quit. Persist until the impossible happens. So there definitely is a theme here, and the card Vishnu, his message is trust, and that is one of the key messages that those of you who chose that are getting. Starting with this card, because Isis is saying she feels how tired you are. You're questioning your journey right now. You're questioning whether the things that you've been seeing coming to pass for you are actually going to come to pass. Sometimes it takes a really long time to manifest certain things into our life. Because it takes so long, we often question. And we start thinking, maybe this really isn't for me. Maybe Spirit is trying to tell me to just go down a different path. Maybe I'm making some kind of mistake in my intuition of what I'm being told here. But these cards are saying, no, there's something here. There's something that you've been trying to manifest. And that thing is real. And it's not the time to give up. In fact, it's a time for you to push harder. Because you are close to some major breakthroughs. And even if that's not the full kit and caboodle of what you're trying to create, there's something so important and so inspiring around the corner for you that you really need to keep going. Like there's a major breakthrough right around the corner. And when we're close to the end, that's really when we feel the most tired and when we want to give up. But here, just keep going a little bit longer. Now that is being echoed here by Vishnu, who, as I said, his message is trust. So again, not a time for you to give up. But whatever you were thinking about when you clicked on this reading, whatever kind of answer you were looking for, the message here is trust what you've been getting about this situation. You are tuned in to the spiritual realm, and the things that you've been longing for, you can have. You can create them, but you have to have faith. Now the goddess is telling you that it's a time to surrender. And this is what Isis said. There's a time for us to detach and let go over and over and over again. It's a really hard process to let go of so many things. Yet you do feel the shifts every time this happens, every time you let go, every time you surrender to spirit. If you really are surrendering in the right way, then what you find is that your life is just flowing. You become in tune with the goddess. You let go of things needing to happen in a certain time frame, needing them to happen in a certain way. And the more that you practice this energy of the goddess, the more that you develop trust, because you do learn after a while that when you let go and you trust what your intuition is telling you, things just seem to work out, even in ways that you can't even imagine. I can't tell you how many times I thought, Spirit was telling me something, giving me a plan, and I was thinking, this plan does not look good. I don't know how this is going to happen. And then when I just trust and go with it, I always find that there's a miracle there. It may not be, $1 million in my pocket, but if we find gratitude for every step of the way, then we see these little miracles in our life, and we have gratitude for them, for feeling that inspired connection all the time in our lives. So your guides are telling you that you're undergoing a metamorphosis right now. Trust. Trust the process and be patient. Becoming cannot be rushed. Change is beautiful. So I'm feeling there's a message here for you about enjoying the process. Often we want to rush to the ending, and we forget about the journey. And yet the journey is where all the beauty lies, because, to be honest, we're never going to reach some final destination and that's just going to be the end. That's not how awakening works. We're always going to be in some form of metamorphosis until we leave this physical body and go back to spirit. There is no end point. Even when we're on mission and it feels like we're on mission and we're doing what we want to do, and then suddenly we get inspired to do something else and new doors open. And I don't want to say challenges, I was going to say new challenges arise, but we don't even look at those things as challenges. We just look at them as a chance to expand, a chance to see things in a new way. So trust your process, guys, because you are in this major change. A lot of you are thinking like nothing's changing. Nothing's happening here. I've been wanting to do this and that and the other, and I'm not seeing things shifting. But we have to shift internally before our external world changes. And sometimes that inner change is so slow or so subtle that we don't always notice or realize the major strides that we've been making. So you may need to go back. You may need to think about your life. What was your life like 5 years ago, 10 years ago, perhaps longer? And think about how much you've changed, how much you've metamorphosed since that time and pat yourself on the back for all the changes that you've gone through. And how Spirit has gotten you to where you are today. Support. Your life purpose fully supports you. Well, this card, let's look at life purpose as very broad. This is actually from the Life Purpose Oracle. The important message here is that you're supported. And in those times where we have doubts and we feel like things aren't shifting and we wonder what the hell's going on, we wonder, where are our spirit guides? Where are our ancestors? Why is nobody supporting us? But you are supported. They are guiding you. They are helping you. But there's only so much that they can do from their side. And then we need to take the wheel and do our part from this side. But you do have a team that loves you and that's guiding you. You also have Peace Pipe. So for some of you, what this message is regarding might be a situation with a person. Someone that you need to smoke the peace pipe with. Someone that you need to forgive or ask forgiveness or just let something go with another person. This card, I get this card a lot because for a year or more now, I guess it's about a year, I've gotten visited by White Buffalo Calf Woman many times, and she introduced the peace pipe. And I had a vision last year where I was smoking the peace pipe with White Buffalo Calf Woman, and she was asking me in that ceremony that if I smoked this pipe with her, I was making a commitment to my journey, to my purpose, and a commitment to my twin flame journey as well, and a commitment to my divine counterpart. And so I feel for some of you, this peace pipe might be like your commitment. Do you want to smoke this pipe with your ancestors? Do you want to take up this path? I know that you do. You're just frustrated. But maybe it's time to have a little recommitment ceremony and remember, the importance of what it is that you're doing. And each one of you watching this has such an important role. Don't underestimate your role in the changes that are happening. And maybe part of this card is just bringing peace in your own way, in your own little corner of the world. Bringing the peace pipe to whatever group you're working with. Even if it's just one person, or 10 people, or 100 people, or 1,000 people. It doesn't matter. But you're being this light of peace. So what is this trust and surrender in response to? For a lot of you, like I said, it's about a person. For many of you that watch me, you're on the twin flame journey, or you feel like you have a divine soulmate or a divine counterpart. And so I feel like, that person is definitely a part of this. There's also this part of trusting your own inner guidance as well. But when I ask for clarity about this situation, like what are you trying to trust? What are you trying to surrender to? I got this card, Island. Isolation, separation, lonely, spread out. So Certainly this card pertains to a feeling of separation, being on your own, being isolated in some way. Okay, so for some of you, you might be separated from your twin flame. Might be separated from your family right now. I know a lot of people haven't been able to see their families who are in different countries. You may just feel like you don't belong and you're lonely, or you haven't had a lot of luck with friends lately. Okay, but something here is going to change. And remember that change starts within, so sometimes we don't see how we have these own inner fears or inner conflicts or repressed emotions that we need to work with in order to move this kind of energy out of our way. So again, with regards to the situation, this is the card of Earth. Okay, and so when I'm looking at this card and I'm getting a message for you in regards to this situation, what started coming to me is, the earth is so old. There's a timeless energy to Earth, a timeless energy to the mountains. If you've ever been to the mountains, you know their energy. To me, they're like sentinels, guards, and yet they're so unmoving and unchanging. And I feel like your spirit guides are saying, there's no rush. There's no rush for you to get someplace or to do something or to achieve something. This situation is timeless. It's eternal. Go outside and sit with this energy of the earth. Even better if you're near mountains. I'm going to the mountains on Sunday. I can't wait. And just know you'll get there. It's a long climb, and there's no rush. If you try to rush your way to the top, you're going to just get tired out, and you're not going to make it. You're going to want to turn back. So just keep going steadily, surely, one foot in front of the other. Just going to see if I can get the name of that mountain there. Just in case it resonates, has a little detail for someone. Okay, this is Mount Blanc. Not sure where Mount Blanc is. Probably somewhere in the American Rockies. It is a painting by an American artist, so that's why I think it's in the American Rockies. They're also saying in regards to this situation that you have the High Priestess. Okay? So this is a confirmation for you to trust what your instinct is telling you. What is your heart telling you? Not your mind that's fearful and worried about timing, but what is your heart that's eternal and turned into the universe telling you about this situation? You know. The High Priestess is at the top of this mountain. Again, when I had that vision of white buffalo calf woman, I was actually at a place like this. I was at a lake, and there's a large mountain there. It was in the Rocky Mountains, and white buffalo calf woman came out of the mountain. So again, it's telling me, because we have the consciousness of the goddesses within us. We have that high consciousness, that capability to reach that level of knowing. So even if you aren't all the way there yet, trust the things that you're getting. You're on the right path. We also got for you, for what this situation is in regards to, is the Ace of Water. Okay, so there's a new beginning. And this is like healing and nourishment. You know, water nourishes us, it purifies us. It washes away the old and cleanses the past. Maybe you need to get near some water. If you're not near the mountains, you may need to get near some water. But I feel like this is, you know, when we go back to a person, because your next card is the Two of Water, or the Two of Cups. Okay, so this is a romantic relationship. A new beginning in a romantic relationship. And it's interesting because all these cards that I pulled for you have mountains on them. And not this card. This card's at sea. And so I feel like it's like there's heaviness, and then there's lightness, and there's travel, there's flowing over the water, you know. And I guess that's starting here, because I think a lot of what your message here is that you gotta flow, and here you're having this flow, and this person is coming back. Whoever this person is with the peace pipe, or if it's a situation, there's a happy ending to this situation. And there's forward momentum for you. It's coming, you know? One of the key words on this card is union, romance, trust, cooperation, union. Yeah, like I definitely feel ahead of you there's change, and there's newness, and there's happiness, and just this lightness of being. But you know, with this card, you're also grounding something. You know, the things that you've been waiting for, that you're frustrated with, there's something grounding here with that. But your consciousness has to be in tune with it. Now, the last two messages from your higher self is that there's messages being exchanged through music and movies. Listen carefully and trust what you hear. Okay, so your spirit guides are in contact with you, or the angels, or your higher self, whoever, they're sending you messages. And you've been feeling it, but you've not been trusting it. But now you know, here is your confirmation. I want to hold you in my arms and feel our bodies unite as one. Okay, so I feel like this is your higher self saying that you are becoming one with your higher self. Your higher self is embodied within you more and more, and that's this process that you're going through. And if you feel frustrated and that it's not happening fast enough, it's because this is actually a big process, and it takes a toll on our body. It can be stressful to our body. We need to rest, we need to take care of ourselves, and we need to go slowly because there's certain processes and activations and DNA changes that have to occur with that. So be patient, but know that it's happening. And for some of you that resonate with this Two of Cups energy, this could be a little message about your person as well. But I did ask specifically for messages from your higher self. But your higher self could be giving you a message in that direction. Take what resonates. And I hope that reading did resonate with you guys. Thank you so much for listening. I'm sending you a lot of love, and I will speak to you again soon. If you chose number 2, which was Green Man, this is your reading. And I'm going to start your reading with an Isis card. And the message for you is Lady of the Stars, Priestess of Sirius. Sirius is a celestial goddess, a star of unconditional love and wisdom at an extremely high vibration. It brings deep soul awakening, spiritual gifts, and a high capacity for divine service. Lady of the Stars is also an empowerment of all other oracles in this deck. She tells you to pay attention because something significant is taking place right now. Sirian energy takes the inner path and the spiritual healing journey into a whole new stratosphere. It is wise, ancient, and extremely high vibrational energy. It takes a certain level of soul evolution to be able to consciously register Sirian light and transmute it on this planet. The heart in question must be able to consciously cultivate unconditional love for it to occur. However, we can still receive Sirian light and healing assistance even if we are still learning to more consistently come from unconditional love. We feel it more and more strongly as we grow spiritually, but even in our learning phase, we can open our hearts to this divine celestial goddess and allow her, through her high priestess, Lady Isis, to bless us with genuine spiritual gifts. Okay, so I feel like for those of you that chose number 2, you're undergoing a big transformation in your spiritual journey. It's like you're ready to level up. You're probably getting activations or some kind of DNA upgrades, or you're feeling your light body grow more because this is the energy of Sirius coming in. And it can feel like your crown chakra is being activated. It can feel like you have a halo around your head, or you just feel your body being activated. As the card says, this energy of Sirius brings us into our heart. Sirius is the sun of our sun, the great central sun. And a lot of the activations that we get from the sunlight are coming down, originally from Sirius. So you're undergoing this change. You may be experiencing physical symptoms, but you're also going to be experiencing clearing around this energy. There's something that's going to be activated within your shadow because of this light that you're taking on. Whenever we level up and we take this light in, we need to displace some of the karmic energy that's in our body. The karma is the carbon nature of our body. We start out in a carbon-based body and we move to our light body. So that process is always shifting, clearing the dense karma, adding more light. And so when we do that, this karma that we're carrying comes up and we need to face it. And karma is just, our shadow or our patterns that we've developed. So you're going to be watching for something like this to show up in your life. Now, the reason Green Man came up here as a master to work with is because during this healing process, nature is going to be very helpful. You need to get outside because it's going to help you clear your mind. Getting out in the sun as well is something positive to do. It's going to help you bring in that energy, bring in those activations. And speaking of like your crown chakra, I don't know about you, but when I go outside and I'm in the sun, it just feels amazing to have the sun on my crown chakra, on my third eye chakra. It's maybe that sounds weird, but getting outside in the sun, being around the trees, grounding, because when we're taking on this light as well. We need to ground our energy. So being amongst the rocks and the trees and the grass, getting your feet on the grass, these are all helpful things. You may want to even like bring nature inside. Have some flowers in your house. Use essential oils or eat healthy foods. Eat a lot of greens at this time. I feel like, for this group too, there's ancestors around you. Okay, and some of these are nature spirits. And they can support you and guide you at this time as well. The goddess message is illusion. Okay, so there's something about the veil being removed from your eyes regarding something. Again, when we take on this light and we get these activations, well, it awakens our consciousness, of course, and we see things differently. We have a different perspective because our consciousness has a higher perspective. And when that happens, then it's like, wow, I have this realization. I had no idea until now that things are really like this. And the more that you move into your light body, the more that this is happening. It's just like you're always having these realizations that you weren't seeing something for what it was. You weren't seeing something clearly. And this is what you're doing right now, okay? You've got to lift this veil of illusion around something. We'll see if it becomes more clear as we go through the cards. So the next card is change. You're transforming. Let go of the past. Embrace the light and joy of this new day. Well, I didn't even notice that till just now. It says embrace the light, and you got the card of Sirius. And, having this light activations of your light body. So you're changing, you're metamorphosing, you're transforming, and you have to let go of something that was in the past. This card is like a perfect confirmation for what I've been saying. And this card, I love the gold energy. To me, this gold energy is Christ consciousness. I'm recording this on Good Friday, so it is Easter weekend. Of course, if you're not Christian, you can still, Christ consciousness is not only about Christ, but we all are reaching Christ consciousness as Christ did. But it is like a weekend of transformation and resurrection. And that's, when Christ himself moved into his light body. So you have to embrace change in some area of your life right now. But you have options. Consider the career possibilities that are open to you. These cards are actually from the Life Purpose Oracle deck, but I'm not necessarily reading them in that way. What I'm getting is, this angel has these scales here. And I'm feeling like for some of you, this is representing like a habit that you do. You're weighing something against something else. And for some of you, it's going to be like you're weighing yourself against others. You're judging things. And for some of you, it's going to be you're judging yourself all the time. How do I measure up? How do I weigh up against others? And that might be the thing that you need to let go of. Because you're you. You don't need to measure yourself against anybody else. You are a priestess of Sirius. You measure up just fine. For some of you, this could be justice, maybe at times you feel like a victim. And you need to see that there is a universal justice at play, and that the universe will take care of things. Even if it seems like something in your life has been unjust up till now, things can always change tomorrow. Or maybe it's about making a decision. They're saying you have options here with this decision. It's time to weigh your options. And this might be like the old ways or the old me, or the new ways and the new me. What am I going to choose? What am I going to create? What are the options for the things that I'm creating here? Shapeshifter. You can change. You don't need to stay who you are. The shamans believe in shape-shifting. They can shape-shift. You can shape-shift. We all can. It's transforming from one thing to another thing. And you have that power when you believe. So I feel like this shapeshifter here, it's coming up for you because it's telling you you need to transform into something else. It may not be like a total transformation. It could be just a belief or a perspective, a way that you're perceiving something. But remember, you've got that veil of illusion. And it's time to lift that veil and shift into something different. So I feel like, whatever that illusion is referring to, it's going to be a big catalyst for your change. Now when I ask what this change, what this letting go of is referring to, I got new moon. And there is a new moon coming up. As I said, I'm recording this on April 2nd. So I think the new moon might be, I'm going to say around the 10th. I don't know that. Isn't that bad? Like, I'm an astrologer, but I haven't gotten that far. I've been so busy. I've looked at the chart, but I haven't thought about talking about it yet. But this Aries new moon that's coming up is powerful. But it doesn't have to refer just to the Aries new moon. These readings are timeless, so whatever you're watching this, it might be referring to the new moon around there, or it could just be referring to a new beginning. That new moon brings in a new energy. It's like a dark portal where anything is possible under the new moon. It talks about expansion, being carefree, excitement, enchantment. So this is you changing, and when that change comes in, it's bringing a whole bunch of things with it. A whole bunch of expansion and new beginnings. I also got Celtic Knot, unconditional love, eternal love, infinity, divine union. Well, I feel like this card here is about connection. I feel like they're saying you are connected to all that is. You are eternal. I also feel like in regards to what you're healing, there's like, I talked about karma, which is referring to like a pattern or something. Of course, this is a pattern in and of itself. And it's kind of like they're telling you like this pattern weaves its way through so many different areas of your life, and not just in this life, but in multiple lifetimes. This pattern has just been weaving and integrated. So in one sense, you're going to shift something. But in another sense, it's like, it's okay because everything is eternal anyways. You are eternal. Your spirit guides are eternal. And there's unconditional love there for you in this process. For some of you, this unconditional love might be loving yourself. Might be loving and accepting yourself. This can also be related to a person in your life that maybe you're struggling with. And it's telling you that there is love there. Well, let's look deeper into these cards. So the first card that I got around what is transforming here or what you need to release is the Seven of Trees. So they're telling you that you're in a better position than you think you are. You know, you may feel like you're at the bottom of somewhere, but you're actually very near the top. You can see more than you think you can. You can see all around you. Vantage point is one of the key words here. Also, surmount, okay? It's like you're rising, you're elevating, which is part of your consciousness elevating. But also there's a storm here, right? So you're elevating, but you have to have that release. You have to have that cleansing. And I feel like the waterfall is part of that too. Like I've said, the higher you go, then you have to go through some kind of cleansing as well. But it's like, don't be afraid of the cleansing, okay? Because you're in a better position than you think you are. And it's like a lot of the battle's already over, you know, but maybe you can't see that from where you are. So I have Steward of Clouds. Okay, so you've got to go into the past. Yeah, we have a cemetery here. We're standing at the gates of the cemetery. And these people are a little bit cautious about going inside. It's like going back to the past. Again, death and transformation, but it's like a death of the old you, a death of this old problem that you've been struggling with. But you know, nobody really likes to go back into the graveyard type of energy, you know. Probably not the best way that I'm describing it, but I mean, literally, that's what's on the card, and that's what I'm getting. It's like you've got to pick through the past, pick through the skeletons in the closet that are back there that you haven't wanted to see. You know, and I'm getting that this is part of that, at least for some of you. There's something in the past that you haven't wanted to see or acknowledge, or some kind of understanding. But it's like because of this shift that you're under, which is a very positive shift. Like you have no choice but to go into this journey now. Nine of Clouds. Okay, so there's something about this energy and going back into the past that's frightening for you. That, you know, there's some kind of anxiety happening. This correlates with the Nine of Swords energy, right? So like a nightmare or loss of sleep or worrying about the future. Well, they're saying like you don't need to worry about the future. For me, I'm getting like it's a letting go. And for some of you, it's going to be a letting go of that worry or anxiety that you've been feeling. Maybe you don't even know where it's coming from, but it's coming from whatever is hidden in here. And once you go in there, you're actually going to be able to let that energy go. But it's like an initiation process that you're going through in some ways, you know, because you're being challenged to go back and find something. As I've said before, it doesn't have to be something, you know, very painful and dramatic or awful happening to you. Sometimes we can get by with just having the realization without having a lot of trigger around it. It just depends on what the situation is and your perspective on it. That's going to decide those things. But isn't it going to be nice for you to come out of this energy of worry, to transform it and to feel more happy and secure and at peace? Because that's really, I feel like, what they're wanting you to have. They're wanting you to have peace. And if you go outside and you get into nature, you're going to have that sense of peace. So the final messages here from your higher self are, you're in your old patterns but can't see it. Okay, so this is a confirmation that there is a pattern you've got to let go of. And this is a pattern that's been very hard for you to see. You know, we've talked about the illusion card, but here's this woman, she's standing in a mirror, and it's like she can't see what she's reflecting to the world. So there's something here about you looking in the mirror, looking into yourself, and reevaluating what you're seeing. And yeah, I think for a lot of you, what you're going to find is that you're just letting go of some old ideas about yourself that you know aren't true. As I said, like, you're always weighing yourself, you're always judging yourself. Maybe you feel like you don't have any options. You feel limited, or you feel like a victim, or you feel like spirit isn't on your side. Take the time to go within. Your child needs to come first. Trust that they're part of your plan. This is about inner child healing for you here. So for a lot of you, what this is related to is going to literally have to do with your childhood. Your inner child is wounded. Very often those come, you know, even further back. So, yeah, it's a good time to focus on some inner child work and nurturing yourself and caring for yourself, and maybe looking at your family or parental or ancestral role in what you're doing. I have posted a few videos recently on healing. I posted a video on emotional flashbacks and how they can relate to past lives. I'm probably, by the time I post this, I will have posted a video about healing with the archetypes that I did with Andy Bryan. I also have some meditations, a meditation for the violet flame and a meditation for Ho'oponopono. The violet flame meditation is great for clearing and grounding your energy, and for clearing the energy with your twin flame or any person that you want to clear energy with. And you can find all these, they're free on my channel. I'm gonna have a playlist going for them. So, you know, I'm just offering that up there as maybe a starting point if you're not sure where this is, what this thing is that you need to let go of. But there's a lot of resources out there. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. If you haven't subscribed to me, please subscribe and hit that notification bell. Sending you all a lot of love, and I will speak to you soon. Okay, if you chose number 3, which is the energy of Merlin, this is the message for you. I'm going to start with an Isis card. who we have with us here on the altar. Pyramid of Light. Step your vibration deeper into love is the card. I'm going to read a little bit of the card for you. This card is about psychic protection. As a being growing in significant light, darker energies can become more attracted to you. There is nothing to fear and only more mastery and awareness of the power and protection of divine love to experience. Here is guidance on the skills you have within you now to deal with any undesired interference. The Pyramid of Light confirms that energies have been causing interference on your path, and it is now time to end that interference with love and compassion. This oracle brings you confirmation that you are growing spiritually, and as such there are higher levels of responsibility and skill required of you to continue to thrive and blossom to even deeper levels of spiritual expansion. These new levels will feel joyful to you as they bring you greater personal mastery and freedom from fear. Sometimes when you're growing your light, darker energies become more interested in you. This is nothing to be afraid of because no energy can interfere with you without your permission. And if you have unconsciously given permission by action or deed in this or any other lifetime, you have the free will to withdraw that permission from a place of peace and love within you now. The key to handling any energy effectively, even that energy which you no longer wish to connect to your energy field, is to have compassion and respect in your heart, combined with a firm boundary and understanding the principles of psychic protection. The Pyramid of Light says you may have beings who think they are helping you, but are not of unconditional love and therefore are better to be released from your energy field. These beings may or may not be in physical form. They may or may not appear as spiritual teachers or helpers. The oracle indicates that there are also thoughts, feelings, and other energies around you that are not helping you, and with this easy ritual below, you can clear all of that and feel that your path is clearer and easier with less fog and confusion. Okay. So you're needing to clear something at this time. Okay, there's, it's either going to be a person, a situation, or some inner pattern or belief that you're holding about yourself, but you need to clear it away. And so this is a general reading. You've got to take what is resonating with you and your situation. Now, I don't want anyone to be afraid of this card, okay? Because for most of you, what this card is going to be representing is that you have some lower vibrational energy showing up within you. So what I mean by that is maybe you're having a lot of doubt or fear right now. Maybe you're feeling unworthy. Maybe you're judging yourself, feeling like everyone else is better than you. Maybe you're feeling abandoned. So that's going to be the case for most of you. It's basically like you're healing something. And the Pyramid of Light is saying that if you work with the light, that they can help you clear out these lower vibrations. I do have a free video on YouTube, a video for the violet flame clearing that you can do for yourself, or you can do it with you and a person. So if you've never used the violet flame, it transforms negativity and karma. Okay, so you might try that if you're feeling these energies around you. Or you can just use a pyramid of white light as well. Talk to your angels, know that you're protected, and really there's some messages here about surrendering as well. So let's go into the other card. So you did choose Merlin. And Merlin's energy is energy healing. So something is healing within you, but in order to heal it, you've got to see it. So there's going to be some trigger or some impetus that brings this lower vibrational energy into your awareness. So like I said, for most of you, it's going to be something within you. For some of you, it could be coming from another person. You could have a person around you that's not very supportive. Or, perhaps they're gossiping about you, or they're always criticizing you. And you might be asking yourself, why am I letting this negative energy into my life? And how do I get rid of it? So yeah, you may have to let a person go. For some of you, it's a situation, like you're doing something that's keeping you in a lower vibration. Maybe it's things that you're doing health-wise, okay? Like you're not caring for yourself well. You're not eating the right foods. You're not sleeping well. And you need to do something to heal your physical body because that's lowering your vibration. And this is a time where your spirit guides are wanting you to increase your vibrational force. So yeah, there's energy healing happening for you. Now I always find it interesting because this card has an eclipse on it. And the eclipses are coming up next month. I think the first one is May 26th, around there. And then there's one on June 10th. So, they are still about 6 weeks away. But, 6 weeks before and 6 weeks after, the energies of the eclipses can start to be felt quite intensely. And really eclipses are in effect for about 6 months. So there could be something building around this energy of the eclipse for you at this time. Now for some of you too, you are either a healer now, and there's an expansion of your healing abilities happening, or you're thinking about becoming a healer. Maybe you're feeling called to be an energy healer, and as we are getting asked to step more into our mission, this might be something that's coming up for you. If so, then I feel like this definitely is a confirmation for you. But part of being a healer is knowing how to protect yourself. Okay? I can attest to this because I am a healer and I do healing work, and you have to be prepared for all types of energies to show up. And we deal with them all. Has this Isis Oracle says, we deal with them all with unconditional love. But yeah, you do need to reach a certain level of mastery to be able to face some of these energies. So the goddess energy is the Erinys crisis. Okay, so like I said, there's some kind of impetus that's happening that's helping you see this. So again, I don't want you to be fearful, because a crisis it just means like something's healing. You probably heard of a healing crisis, right? Sometimes things get worse before they get better, because it's like you have to purge something out. You've got to clear something. But yeah, there's some kind of crisis happening that shows you where this lower vibrational stuff is. So if it's something in you, okay, then you're going to be made aware of whatever pattern or process you're in. If it's with another person, okay, there might be something that happens with them. There might be an argument or an ending of that relationship, and that can be the crisis. For some of you, you could be having a health crisis. Again, I don't want to scare you. It doesn't have to be anything traumatic, but maybe you're just really realizing, like, I'm not taking care of myself and I'm really feeling it. Like I'm not able to do the things that I want to do because my body isn't feeling good. And that's the impetus to you making changes. So watch what happens. And of course, this is actually good because all these cards are telling you that you're healing this thing. Nature. Sometimes all you need is to go outside to breathe the fresh air and remember who you are and where you want to be. So they're telling you part of this energy of healing for you right now involves getting outside in nature. This came up for another group too. I think the group that had Green Man. So yeah, going outside is important because it's grounding, it's healing. There's a stillness, a quietness, an eternalness to nature that is very soothing to the human soul. Especially if you are having things triggered inside of you, you know, like if you're dealing with something like abandonment. Okay, going outside, taking your mind off things can be very calming and soothing. For some of you that are healers, okay, you may have a connection to nature in what you do for healing. Maybe you use like essential oils or some kind of therapy like that. Or you might be doing healing work on the earth as well. Or you might be doing healing work on animals. Leadership. Take charge of this situation. So, okay, the first thing I'm getting for you guys is your guides are saying, take charge of this. Okay, like it feels like there's going to be some kind of crisis happening, whatever that is. And you're getting called to step up. And maybe part of what's going on here is you're needing to see your own leadership abilities. So don't be afraid, but take charge here. Whatever it is. If you have to take charge of your own emotional self, if you have to take charge of a situation with another person, if you have to take charge of your health, you know, whatever it is, or if you're a healer already, like I said, you might be called to further the work that you're doing. And you might have to step out of your comfort zone a little bit with what you're being called to do on the next level. But know that you're ready for it. But your guides are saying, like, stay strong and take charge. Wounded healer. Definitely see a theme here, right? This theme of healer is very strong. So yeah, you know, we have this first part that there's a wound. There's a wounding happening, but things are being cleared away. We've got the water coming down. We've got the sun. So there's a healing happening. For those that are actually healers, okay, well, I'm sure you've heard the saying, heal or heal thyself. And the way that a lot of healers actually learn is by going through their own healing crises and having to work through their own stuff. And it shows them, you know, different ways. And then you go out and use it on yourself, and then you use it on other people. That's not coming out as clear as I want, but I hope you get the picture. You know, like for me, you know, this first very beginning of my awakening was because I had a lot of physical symptoms that I didn't know at the time, that a lot were connected to my awakening and the things that my body was going to. Like I had a lot of sensitivities. I still have a lot of sensitivities to everything. A lot of foods and a lot of chemicals and a lot of environmental things. And so that sent me, like a typical, you know, Virgo person, out to find what was wrong with me because doctors couldn't help me. So I started looking into all these natural remedies and learning about all these things. So that's what I mean by healer, heal thyself. And then once you learn these things, then you're able to help other people. So, and even if you're already a healer and you're needing to go to the next level, you might be facing your own crisis to help you prepare for how you're going to be helping people in the future. So what is this energy related to for you guys? The first card was Strength, okay, Leo. It's also a card related to the Sun and the Queen of Fire. But, usually when I'm working with this deck, and this is the Intuit Oracle, you've got a lot of different messages you can take here. Like what I'm picking up for you guys is strength, because it's like you're having to find your strength right now. And you're being challenged somehow in whatever crisis this is so that you can do it. Because, you're needing to step up. You're needing to become a leader. You're needing to heal yourself. You're needing to purify these lower vibrational forces that are around you. We think about the traditional strength card as well. We have the angel and the lion. Okay, so again, maybe there's something for some of you that's going to resonate with healing animals. That won't be for all of you, but maybe a few of you out there. But I'm getting like taking charge here. Something could be connected to you, to the sign of Leo as well. And, the dates of Leo, which is July to August. So maybe something around the Lion's Gate you might see. Like, I think, this energy is going to come up before that for you. But maybe, like, you're taking your next step. You're taking that leadership role in August or at the end of July. We also have a timing of 7 to 14 days during the summer. So, again, take what is going to resonate in your situation. We also have this card, Fireworks. This card is kind of like a card of passion, but what I'm feeling for you guys is it can be more like anger. You might be feeling anger, or you might be having an argument with someone, and that might be part of the crisis that you're having. And this is just showing like there's some kind of explosive energy happening. It might be like a real push for you. Like you're feeling really passionate about something. And, we think of passion as being connected to love, but we can feel passionate about a lot of things. We can feel passionate when we're arguing with someone or when we're in a crisis. When we want justice, we can be passionate. We can be passionate about healing, our healing abilities or our healing career. But also with this, there's like this letting go energy. Like once the firework goes off, it can be peaceful again, but you've got to have those explosions, which, this card here, Leo, is fire energy, and it correlates with the Queen of Fire. And it might be like with fire signs, they tend to have this explosive reaction, but it's very short-lived, right? Like they get their feelings out and then they're able to move on from it. They don't hold on to it. So it might be, just there's this explosion of energies and then move on. But this kind of correlates with the tarot cards that I pulled for you that have to do with this part of your journey. The first one is Spirit of Water. So when we think about water, we think about emotions, right? And this is Niagara Falls. And Niagara Falls churns up. It's forceful. I live very close to Niagara Falls. We should still look like this, but unfortunately, it's a lot of people stuff around it now. But yeah, it's a powerful churning up. We can see all the mist and everything that comes from it. And so I feel like part of this crisis for you guys, it's like churning things up inside of you, churning up your emotions. And that's what I'm getting with this. But they're also saying, has key words here, breathtaking. So it could be like, you know, if we think of this card again, and passion, feeling impassioned by something, this could be like that inspiration. Again, like if we look at a couple of the scenarios that I've talked about, for those of you that might be going through a clearing, then this could be that churning up of emotions. For some of you that are healers that are going to the next level, this can be like your power. This is the King of Cups in this deck. Okay, so it could be saying like the water in that you're empathic and you're connected to other people. And you have that psychic sense. Maybe you can sense energy, or you can sense when this churning is going on with other people and you can help calm them down. I'm going to come back to that card perhaps. Then we have upturned. This is the Hanged Man in this deck. But again, we have these very turbulent forces of water. Okay, and when we go back to this card, the Pyramid of Light, right? Like Isis is telling you that there's this low vibrational energy attached to you. And somehow this energy is creating this turmoil within you. Whether that is a passion or it's an anxiety, it's a fear, there's something there. And with this card, they're saying like you gotta surrender. Like you can't fight these waves. You can't swim against these waves. You've got to just let the waves take you and move with them, flow with them. So this is how you are seeing that different perspective. For some of you, it may be like going into emotions that you've been repressing for a long time. Maybe you've been afraid to go into some of these emotions. And now it's like you have no choice, because you have to see that the frequency of those old emotions is having an effect on the other parts of your life. You may feel at times like you're underwater, like heavy, or like you can't get up, you know. This won't be for all of you, but for some of you. But remember, if you get into that situation, surrender. Also, like, reach out for help. You know, if you find yourself in these kind of turbulent emotions, try to reach out to help, for help with someone. And then we have the Three of Stone. So, I mean, these are interesting juxtaposition, right? Because we have all this turbulence, this big storm, and just being carried away. And then the sun's coming out. And the water's like glass. And it's so calm. And here there's all these people in turmoil. And here people are rebuilding something. So I feel like what they're saying is after the storm, the sun comes out. And you're going to have like a much stronger foundation for the things that you're building. You know, whatever's healing, whatever that thing in your life that you've got to let go of or change perspective on, right? Like if there's something lower vibrational, you've got to turn it into something higher vibrational. You might be working with somebody. This is collaboration. So again, if you're a healer by trade, and there's a lot of ways that light workers can be healers. You know, don't just think about energy healer, but think about obviously doctors, nurses, nutritionists, physical therapists, psychics, astrologers, counselors, psychologists. So many ways that we can heal. You know, healing animals, whether you're doing energy work or veterinary skills or, you know, taking care of sick animals, like many, many, many ways that you can bring this healing energy. But there's some kind of collaboration coming with other people, okay? So yeah, if you are like a healer in service somewhere and practice somewhere, it's like you're going to be working with people. Maybe you're expanding in that way. More people are coming to you for help because now that you've shifted your vibration, like even more people resonate with you. But also it's like you're learning something. You're getting that mastery, you know, and that Pyramid of Light card talked about you don't need to be afraid, but you're moving into some type of mastery. And so I feel like this card is saying that you achieve that mastery. So again, don't be thrown if something comes up, but know that it's helping you move through the light and move into the calm. And you're going to be like in a much better place once you heal whatever it is you need to heal. Well, the last cards from your higher self is I feel abandoned. I feel like others let me down. Okay, so I really feel like this is going to be something that a lot of you will be dealing with in some way, feeling let down by somebody else. That might be that crisis. And again, we have this water here that's very calm. It's like a reflection. Quite different from this water. But it's like when you heal that inner stuff, you're going to be moving into this calmness. But there might be some kind of trigger for some of you where you feel abandoned. You may need to, you know, just let someone go outright if they're not healthy for you, but you may have to grieve the loss of that person nonetheless. The other card is don't judge this, just surrender. I know it's triggering, but from a higher perspective, it's actually clearing energy and bringing us closer together. Okay, so your higher self is saying you gotta surrender. You gotta let go, you gotta ride the waves. You gotta change your perspective here on this thing. And know that whatever you're going through, it's actually clearing energy from within you or around you that you don't want or need. And it's going to help raise your vibration. So don't be afraid, stay positive, and focus on, you know, healing, whatever that healing is for you. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that this reading resonated with you. If it did, leave me a comment, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell to be updated on when I post again. Thank you guys so much. I'm sending you a lot of love, and I'll speak to you soon.